Hello and welcome to the Tim Vaxelbaum Show. My name is Tim Vaxelbaum, and this is episode 91 of the program. You know, it's been a little bit of time since I last done. It's been about a week or two since I last done this, but that don't mean I forgot about it. I'm growing in popularity. I put out a clip about Matthew Perry. That helped boost my numbers a little bit. Everybody hated it, but it boosted my numbers, which is all that matters, because he died. So I jumped on top of that bandwagon of a topic, and that's how you do it. So anyway, we're not going to be talking about that on this week's episode because it's old news, and we're going to be talking about something else. We're going to go back to the partial. We're going to have a guest on this episode. If you're listening only, you can't tell yet, but if you're watching the show, there's a guest. To my right-hand side, he's a comedian. He's a funny comedian from Ohio.
Yeah.
He's from Ohio. I checked his area code. Otherwise, I would have forgotten that by now. Yeah. His name is Michael Dragon. Do you go by Mike or Michael?
What feels better for you to say?
I said Michael, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it's more syllables, so it sounds more fancy when you say Michael.
We'll go with Michael then.
Michael Dragon. I met him in Austin. I met you, and I guess at this point it's a conversation. I'm no longer talking to the camera. It's weird when you look into the camera when you're talking to somebody next to you. I found that out.
No, this is normal.
But yeah, I met you here, obviously, because that's where we live. When did you move here?
I think I moved in the room over here just last night.
In this house.
Yeah, this house. Yeah.
This is a house that has extra rooms, so spread the word. If you're looking for if you need a roommate. Just kidding. No, of course I'm not open to that. Having roommates.
But no, I moved in March of 2020, like literally the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like the weekend before they were going to shut down Ohio, I was supposed to leave like the week after, and I just got into a yeah, March of 2020.
I derailed you.
No, you're
so
fine.
Anyway, it's March 2020, and then so yeah, we're gonna start with your background. We got time to kill. We're not. We got time to introduce to learn about each other a little bit. We don't gotta get right into the meat, but this is gonna be a very finance laden episode. It's gonna be laden with nerdy stuff, finance-based conversation. Unless we just never get to it, that'd be funny. Because that's why I was in a hurry to get you on here. Because as soon as we started talking last night at an open mic or at a comedy show, I'm not even going to say open mic.
Yeah, it's a comedy show.
I'm going to call it a comedy show because it sounds cooler. It sounds way better than the reality of the. So I saw you there. And I asked you how you were doing very awkwardly because I was on mushrooms a little bit. And
oh, shit.
I forgot how to socialize. And because I don't socialize, that's a double whammy. I was super atrophied in talking to other people. So I was like, how you doing? He was like, good, how are you? I was like, good, how are you? And it kept going back and forth.
That explains why you're doing that. Okay.
And I was like, okay, what I mean by that is, how are you doing? Like, what is up? I should have just said, what's new with you?
That's a good point.
That would have been better.
I do like the same four things, so technically nothing, but
yeah,
yeah.
So you're answering. So you're answering it now.
Yeah, like literally, like okay, so like I spend the mornings doing stock stuff, I spend the afternoons doing comedy stuff, and then I squeeze in family, friends, occasionally video games.
Yeah. What's your family situation?
They live in Ohio. Parents are divorced.
Oh, that's right. So you don't have your own family. Like you don't have a nuclear family. That's right, because you have a roommate.
Oh yeah, no.
I guess that's what I was kind of like. But of course, if you have a comic roommate, that usually rules out that you have a spouse.
Yeah, usually, yeah, because I don't think anyone would put up with another person trying to be silly all the time.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Usually, it's the spouse and the comic, and that's it. Unless it's who knows, maybe not. So there's some freaky people out there.
There are some small cities that don't know better. So,
well, this is one of them, kind of. This place.
What'd you think?
This place is kind of a small city that doesn't know much. That has some weird vibes. It has some weird,
like not just comedy, but like in general.
Yeah, I'd say in general, I guess comedy for sure. But there's musicians here. There's artists here. Not as many. as there once was.
Yeah, I heard they're all fleeing to other like Kentucky and Tennessee and stuff like that. Like the music guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that
all of them? Just anybody that actually is in a real like somebody that actually dedicates their life.
Wow.
But comics are that.
True.
A lot of the comics that are here are not trust fund kids.
Yeah, no, there's very few trust fund kids.
Yeah,
that I'm
like
aware
I'm sure there's some of them, but most of them are just legit.
Poor.
I didn't say. I was going to say a way meaner term, but poor is not that mean. They would call themselves poor.
They would. They actually do.
And regularly. Some of them are doing well. Some of them started off poor, and now they're working for Rogan.
Yeah, not many.
I know, but I know plenty that I started with in Chicago. At least one that now does the club, and he was.
Oh.
I don't want to say poor because I like him, and I'm not trying to diminish him, but he's a great guy. He's very funny, and he's doing well now, I'm assuming.
Okay. I didn't know of any Chicago guys down here.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, no, there's a few. Not that many, but yeah, there's really not that many.
Oh, wait a minute. You talking about Young?
You could say it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Ryer? Talking about Ryer?
No, is she back?
Yeah, she's been back for...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that because I've been out of the fucking scene. But no, I was thinking of I can't Sam Priggett.
Oh no shit! I didn't know he was a Chicago boy.
Forever just thinking, yeah, he's great. Well, he's from North Carolina, but I met him in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
He was there for a few years. But anyway, so this is all a tangent of me explaining how I saw you at the open mic and we started talking. I asked you what was up. We eventually you mentioned day trade. You mentioned the stock market. That's all I needed to hear. As soon as I heard stocks, and then you said you said something about day trade, or you said S&P 500, and I was like, boom, that's exactly what I'm doing. Small world.
Very small world, I guess, but. Seriously, you're the only person I bumped into in real life who like entertains this conversation and eyes don't glaze over.
Yeah, it felt very esoteric considering our surroundings.
Yeah,
it was like 12 o'clock. It was like after midnight on a Friday, and nobody else was on our level, in our wavelength at all about stock. It's just the word stocks. People's eyes glaze over. It's like, who gives a shit?
Talking about retail? No, not that kind of stock, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they know. That's they work retail. We're retail traders.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you're more closer to the institutional side than me.
How so?
I guess because you come from a financial background in your career.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not a true finance pro. I'm like one of the wannabes, I guess you could say. Like I don't know, because there's the dudes in like New York City who like are trying to get on Wall Street if they're not already on Wall Street, and then there's me. So
at least you kind of know about that. At least like, because I don't know nothing about that.
Really?
Like I don't know any finance bros.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good because I heard they're awful. So
yeah, just like, the term kind of lends itself to not be fun, to not be like a fun person to be around. But you have a back. Like, what did you study it at all? Finance? Like, did you go to college or anything for it?
Oh no. I went to college for 4 years, but kept changing my major, and so I never finished. But I still accrued like $30,000 in debt. So that was
live
sweet.
and learn.
But as far as like me, no. I honestly, if it wasn't for me working at the bank for as long as I have, I'd have probably zero interest in this.
Oh, okay.
I grew up poor, and I had a very like, I guess, conservative mindset in a lot of ways, where I lacked a lot of trust in like hospitals and like the government and all this other stuff. For the longest time, I wasn't QAnon, but I was very like conspiratorial kind of.
Not just fiscally conservative, like actually conservative.
I get like, yeah, but like I was poor, so like it's like it works against you kind of.
Yeah,
like, I don't know, but
well, sure, but that's I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
you can start off poor and then realize that hard work is rewarded if you're usually conservatives, or at least people that make it in life, they become conservative.
Ooh,
if you start off, it's easy to stay poor as a liberal. Like
it's almost a requirement.
Like the conservative mindset instills like entrepreneurship. Liberalism is more like handouts.
True.
It's like, I'm a victim. I deserve free money.
Oh, I had that mindset.
That's kind of where I'm getting.
I had that too. Like,
You have that?
well, I've worked a very long time, but like it was really weird. So like I was always, I don't know, when I was younger, I was real angry at things. So I didn't trust credit cards because I just saw everyone get into debt with them. So, but it was like irrationally, like I didn't like educate myself and like, oh, I just like saw and then like wanted to get away from it.
Credit cards. Well, probably because you knew other people that went over in debt.
Exactly.
Yeah, up to their eyeballs. Yeah, you maxed out your. That's
Bought
not
stupid shit. My dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that's how you saw that happening. It's kind of like a drug addict. You see, if you grow up with a drug addict,
yes,
makes you stay away from drugs. Same thing. Credit cards, cocaine. You sniff them off your credit card. Same. They all go together. It's a drug. Money's a drug, but it's even worse than a drug.
It's a drug
because it's so much more powerful than a drug. Like, because everybody does it. Nobody does not do money.
Right, and everyone who does money doesn't know, like 98% of everyone I've ever bumped into is terrible with it, though. It's the strangest thing. It's like there's people who are bad at eating. They tend to be really
That's what I was just thinking. Food is another one that everybody has to do. You can get addicted to it, but food is not as powerful as money. No. But you were just saying how most people are bad at it, like 98 or how
I mean, living in Cleveland, I would say that. Living out here, it's a different story. People were actually like, I think it's because it was so successful for so long. Like Austin's been a growing city for decades. So you have an entire generation or two or three who just, oh yeah, this is how this is and this is how you take care of your finances. Versus when I was in Cleveland, everyone was extremely poor and it was paycheck to paycheck. And I'm talking like the retirees or whatever that I bumped into. They would Social Security income check and stuff like that to check. I don't know. But yeah, point is I had a bad relationship with the stuff. So I was exposed to it because of my job. And the only reason why I took that job is because I wanted to do comedy. The only way I could do comedy is if I took a career that had a schedule that I could do. So everything's kind of built off each other.
So this is pretty recent then.
7 years ago.
That's when you got into comedy. So you got the job. And when did you start comedy?
At the same time.
About 7?
Yeah, as far as seriously, yeah.
Oh, okay. So relatively recent. How old are you?
30. Gonna be 36 next month.
36. That's about what I figured. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't just say 30. I would have been like, you're only 30? Yeah, right? Good, because I'm 34. Cool. So there's not an awkward age gap.
No. We're the
I
same
hate when
person.
somebody's only like 26 or something. They think they could be my friend.
Well, I'm older than you. Does that mean I have to be your friend?
No, but at least that's only 2 years. If it's like somebody's only in their mid-20s and they act like they're my equal, like oh, you just moved here, you want to be friends? It's like, not with you. You're 26. You don't know life. You don't know the darkness that is around the horizon. You haven't lived. I don't know. It's just a comedy.
No, it's true.
It's also just being a comedian. That gets, as you do comedy longer, you do kind of. Well, I can't speak for every single one of them, but you grow like a big head about like, oh no, he's too inexperienced to fuck with or whatever. But I have
noticed that, but I have people and they're trying to cure me of it. I have this attitude like talk to everyone and just treat everyone like people or whatever. And then I've had a few people be like, well, you can't. I mean, be like that, but like you got to be a little pickier once you get to a certain level because it's who you let in and it affects all sorts of stuff, not just like your reputation, but also like if you're trying to do a thing and you're surrounded by a bunch of people who are below that and you're trying to grow, it can weigh you down.
That's a good point. Because I think there's really not many benefits other than what you just that it could weigh you down to be around people that are not forcing you to if they're better than you. You'll get better. If they're worse than you, you'll just be the best. Yeah, you won't
exactly.
grow. But other than that, there's no benefit to being a douchebag, I don't think.
Oh, I fully
in comedy. So that's why I take mushrooms because without them, it reminds me that we're all just people or whatever, all that BS.
Oh wait a minute. So like you have a hard time staying like that without a little assistance?
Yeah, I have my mind gets clouded and like a bit, I don't want to say bitter all the time because it comes off as bitter.
Sure.
But it's just like me losing interest. And once you are exposed to something, you want to maintain a certain level. It's very hard to it's like dopamine. Okay, am I going to be... Some things just don't excite you once you've done them enough times.
Oh, absolutely.
So it'll come off as like, this guy's such an asshole, man. He's acting like he's too good for this open mic, and it's like, well, no, it's not that. It's not quite that, because obviously if I was too good for it, I wouldn't have to be here.
Right.
Is that I've done it 1,000 times, and I don't know, I'm just not going to get excited for it. I'm not going to like be like, yay, an open mic. I'm just going to be like, yeah, okay, it's 4 minutes.
We're here to do.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really hard to explain.
No, I know
but
what you
also
mean.
that's why I stopped, is because this scene just hasn't been. I haven't felt very compatible with the situation where you have to drive to, for 15 minutes. Each. Not that that's that bad. I guess because also that just when you get to the place, okay, this place is not going to be fun. I'm not going to get much out of it. It's just an individual thing that I'm going through. Other people are doing well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess that's true with any scene, but like, yeah, I'm curious because you come from Chicago. I've heard mixed opinions about Chicago as far as like a stand-up scene. Like, is it good or bad? I assume it's good, but I've been told, nah, not necessarily.
Yeah, I could say, I'm curious what you heard. It was good for a good place to start, because there's plenty of stage time. You could do
right.
Tons of mics every single day. Like, it's rare for there to be no stage, no opportunity, like nothing. Like, even the holidays, there's always going to be something. And it's usually indoors. And usually people kind of know how to do it, like how to host an open mic. It's just the competence level definitely was higher on average than here.
Yes. Oh, basically, this is a young scene that got injected with steroids. Is kind of how I'm viewing it. Like, it's like, I got the size, but I'm like, well, you don't have the proper technique. You don't have like, there's basic. I didn't know this until I started talking with other people and they were educating me. Like the Denver comedy scene. Like, if you do an open mic, the odds of someone coming up to you and be like, hey man, I got a tag for you. Is it cool if I give it to you? Or the odds of like, hey man, I have the show. Like, other people are paying attention and care. Versus down here, it really hasn't developed that yet.
Yeah, I just feel like it's less comedy savvy on the audience end too. I just feel like
That
Chicago is more primed. They're just more savvy for Like, I could kill in Chicago easier with the same material just because they get my angle.
Okay.
I don't know. There's some I've experienced. Also, I'm from there, so I'm biased. If that's where I kind of learned how to do it, then of course it's probably going to be easier.
Absolutely.
To do well there.
Absolutely.
Also, I just feel like a fish out of water kind of in Texas. It's a big state, it's a wild state. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. It's more freedom of speech here. Like, you don't get booed as much. You just don't get laughs.
They just stare at you.
Yeah, like in Texas, you could bomb, but nobody's going to be like, oh, you went too far.
Oh, really? They're just kind of like, yeah, that's how it was, and they just kind of move on from it?
I guess, yeah, I'm just saying there's less woke crowds.
Oh,
like, they won't actively try to get you in trouble as much.
Oh yeah, New York's, I guess, going through that bad right now. LA, of course. Chicago, I'm assuming, from what you're telling me.
Chicago, that's where it's really bad. It's definitely, they have that there, but even so, you could still kill with funny, as long as it's funny, even though they're woke, they still are more comedy savvy.
Okay.
They're complicated people.
Yeah, no, and then so you're saying, so like Austin's more like a small town that doesn't give a hell.
Only compared to what I'm used to. Yeah.
Have you done like small towns? Like, isn't there like Wisconsin or something, a scene that everyone goes to out there?
I guess there's Madison.
Yes.
That's kind of the closest I could think to that.
Okay.
I've been there once. They have a nice comedy. They have a good club there, but I haven't done like small towns. Maybe like, okay, I guess I did like, not Decatur, some small fucking town once. So yeah, I don't really have much of that. Yeah, I don't know. Can't speak to that because Austin isn't really a small town. It's just a small city kind of.
It has a small town vibe.
And it has this even regardless of the size, it attracts like a shallowness.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like it attracts like this money-centric status chasey LA type person.
Everyone I've talked to agrees with that.
Yeah.
It's like LA Light.
Right.
LA Junior.
Yeah. So the culture is, there's not much of its, culture that's like homegrown, which is what they everybody says. Whatever. But yeah. So that's where I'm at. But I like where I'm at. I like living in my own house. That's one of the benefits of Austin.
Place is pretty damn awesome, I'm not going to lie.
And it was not that much. It's just a little cheaper than where I'm from.
Wait a minute. When did you move here?
I moved here 2 years ago.
Okay.
I bought the house in February of 21.
Oh my God! Right before the prices just went.
Yeah, that was when they were super high, and then they went a little bit higher, and then they went down, obviously, because interest rates, and
Yes, finance. Yes.
So yeah, finance. What else? Is that about it? Is that we could? Yeah, fuck comedy, man. That's my opinion on comedy. I'm very negative.
Oh no, a lot of people who have been doing comedy for a minute doesn't necessarily have the most uplifting opinion of the scene. Like I've heard multiple people say very similar
I don't want to
things.
be it's not, I like to be original, but I guess I'm one of them.
No, you're
one of those guys.
You're comedy savvy, I guess. So you have a more critical eye. You know more.
No, I could if I don't want to
experience.
I don't want to sign off on just like that. Like that, it's not me though. It's mostly me. That's the problem. Like because I just lost. I lost my sparkle, my shine.
What can I do to help you, Tim?
Yeah, like it's not the scene. It's really just me.
It's you
being a bitch.
You whiny little hoe.
And stand up is just hard. Stand up is like a thing that you have to really love.
That's true.
Like I just realized that I don't love the craft of like repeating, like fine tuning jokes to get to the point where they're perfect. And it's not like it's that complicated. Just but you have to do it.
Right.
So if you don't like that part of it, how are you going to do time? How are you going to do 30 minutes?
Is that what happens? Is that why Timmy Gusto was a thing for you?
Yeah, Timmy Gusto was like a flanderized version of me. It's like all the worst parts of me condensed down to a milk condensed.
Ooh,
and it's fun to do a character, but that's what it is. It's a character.
See, they would love it in Chicago. I was told they love characters out there, right?
Yeah, I tried. I guess I did it there for a few minutes. Yeah, I did it there.
Oh, did you really?
For a week or something.
Oh, that's cool.
And I guess it works, but it's not that original. I'm told. Like I know it's not. It doesn't. It's like kind of like it's been done.
Yeah.
That thing before, but also it's based on shit that I learned how to do, like whatever. And it's very dicey to get into like saying something is good or bad, and if it's subjective. Because if like I like it, but yeah, that's all it is. It's a character. It's not me.
I got you.
This is me, Tim Weichselbaum. I got long hair.
Wait, how many times when I would be talking to you at the creek were you not Timmy and you were Timmy Gusto?
Well, it really only started doing that until like a year ago is when I nailed it down. It's like, it's like, this is what I'm doing now.
Okay.
And I could turn it on whenever I want. It's fun. I would do it on podcasts. I would do it on panel shows. But I'm just bored. I just don't like doing a stand-up because it's just me, and I like to improvise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I like to improvise. That's why I like to podcast.
Have you tried improv before? I heard Chicago's
yeah, like I took
that.
a few classes. Yeah.
And?
Yeah, I don't like that school. I don't like the school of improv, like the whole here's how you do it.
I got you.
Yeah, I just like improv in the sense like Bill Burr, the way he does it. Like he's an improv guy, but he's a stand-up.
Interesting. I've never heard.
I was just thinking about this earlier. I was like, he's obviously a stand-up. Everybody respects him as a stand-up, but when it comes down to it, he's really the funniest when he's just fucking around.
True. Yeah.
In my opinion. So like, yeah, he's like what I want to be, kind of.
Okay. No, it's
or at least to that's just an example of what I like. Yeah. Because stand-up it just becomes formulaic. It's like, okay, I see what he did there. I don't know. I just overanalyze it. It's like I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. It just doesn't act. That's like robotic and like okay, here's where the laughs. No, I like the spontaneity. But anyway, this is too much about me. Let's talk back up. Let's get to you.
Of course. We want to know.
Okay. So what is your opinion about everything I just laid out?
I've never heard anyone describe Bill Burr as improv, but I see what you're saying, and honestly, I think that's an important part of comedy is like the riff or whatever. It's becoming more important. It's actually becoming like the highlight. Like you've seen like Matt Rife. Mm-hmm. He's literally has become popular because he's was good at off the cuff stuff. People, my aunt, she was just telling me she watched his comedy special and she really didn't feel. She like loves his TikTok videos where he's like heckling or dealing with hecklers. She did not feel the same thing about his stand up, and that made me realize, oh, okay, so it's like two separate skill sets. They're very similar. They're maybe in the same environment, but they're not the same at all.
Yeah, he just got in trouble for his special. Like,
oh god, yeah.
I don't know if you heard that. I just heard about that.
Yeah,
because he has all these women fans.
Yep.
And he starts to he doesn't like that they only like him because he's hot. So he's annoyed because they try to like harass him. They try to like grab his dick.
Holy shit!
During
really?
during meet and greets, like they actually go over the line, and like it's so kind of contra. What do you call it? Like a double standard. And so I get why that'd be obnoxious, because the second a dude does anything approaching that, then they're canceled. And
yeah.
So just like I get why that could be frustrating. Like he has to walk on eggshells.
Right.
But yes, whatever. So so that made me kind of notice that he's awake. He's not just some TikTok guy. He's actually
he's trying.
More interesting than that.
Yeah.
He is hot though. I'll give it. He's definitely hot.
He's got a jawline, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's angelic. Like I was watching, I was like, is he? Because I was skeptical, but then I looked at him. I was like, dang, yeah, he is hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Like I said, he's like very symmetrical.
Yeah.
All like the standard. He has
Like I could recognize when another dude's hot.
Confidence.
What was that?
I said he has confidence.
Well, confidence is good. That's certainly why he's so popular. Because if he was just hot without the talent, without the whatever you want to call it, performance skills.
Do you think he trades stocks?
I don't know. He seems like he's pretty. Usually, stand-ups they're only good at a few things. They're only good. Yeah, like the ones that are actually good and successful, they're obsessed with that. They're only, and they like if you talk about finance or something, that they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, interesting.
In my experience, yeah, like a lot of comedians are really, they're not like into multiple disciplines. Like, life just kind of beats them up, but they're good at stand-up, and that's why they're so good.
Do you think it's possible to be good at comedy plus other things? I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, but like, do you think it's possible?
Yeah, I think of Louis C.K.
He's a great example.
He's the one that definitely proves that you could do that.
Movies, shows, and stand-up. Well,
I just look at that. There's definitely many people like that, like that could do stand-up, but it doesn't mean that's their only passion, and that's
right.
Like many other showbiz big successes that became actors, like Adam Sandler.
Right.
Tons
of movies.
Tons of examples. A lot of Jews, though. I'm trying to. Like,
Can you give me what do we call us non-Jews? I forget the name.
Yeah. Any non-Jews would be a good question. That'd be a challenge to actually find one. Okay.
Is it just because Jewish people are so obsessed with things that they're so good at stuff?
So,
and
there's definitely examples of non-Jews, but like Irish are amazing at stand-up. Like Irish people tend to be extremely, like you can almost not tell the difference between an Irish person and a Jewish person because they all have the same problems for some reason.
Huh.
Like at least they have the same brains. Like they all went through some kind of trauma. I don't get it. I haven't pieced it all together. I just noticed that it's just a pattern.
Sure.
That a lot of Irish people are fucking really funny and depressed and jealous and like bitter, like all that shit.
Yeah, no.
They have baggage.
Yeah, and all the Ohio people I know are like that too. And the Ohio squeezed out a couple of good. Do you know Bob Hope was from Ohio?
Nah, I guess not, but yeah, he's good.
Bob Hope. Do you know who's that black guy with the big fat mustache? Does like not the price?
Groucho? No,
not Groucho.
Wait, what'd you say? Big mustache and what else?
He's a black dude.
Oh, black dude. Yeah, I thought you said that.
Groucho Marx, the black guy. Yeah,
it went in and out. Didn't process but I heard it. So black guy, big. Okay. Oh, Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. Yeah, he's from Ohio. He actually did like.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. But okay. So I don't know. He's
because Bob Hope fucked me because it was that guy's died. That guy was super old. I was thinking like centuries ago. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I think that environment creates probably good because like life sucks, and the only way you can make it better is by the way you're perceiving all these things that are terrible. So you could either wallow in it. I guess it's kind of like a couple hundred years ago when there was a group of people who really were told what to do all the time and they were singing a bunch and they're just trying to make the best of a shitty situation. So that's probably, but like, what do modern Jews, I don't know. I don't understand them. I haven't hung out with them that enough. I respect the hell out of them though. The ones I met in New York City. And I'm talking like
That's where they
traditional,
live.
like wears like the fur hat. Like,
Oh,
don't
okay.
you dare.
Like actual devout. Like what do you call it? Yeah.
Well, that's why I learned there's different levels. There's like that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like the most rigid. And
So
then
that'd be like the Russian, or like there's different hats.
Yeah.
There's many different
the
styles.
fuzzy
Yeah,
fur
the fuzzy
hat.
one is usually the Russians. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then there was like the next level were like the Jews that wore like the traditional black yarmulkes or whatever, and they're the ones I met anyways. It was always black pants, white shirt.
Yep.
I think a tie or whatever. The curls.
Right, Hasidic or whatever. Yeah.
And then-
so those are the real ones.
Yeah, and then they'd be in the freaking one of the parks somewhere with a leek or an onion or something like that, and then like it's a lemon, and then like they had some like bushy thing, and they would go up to you and be like, "Are you Jewish?" And they go up to you, "Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish?" And if you say yes, they do a prayer and they leave you alone. If you say no, I think they just walk away, or maybe they yell at you, "Heathen, heathen." I don't know, but I don't know. So where am I going with this? Why are Jews so like common? Like what? Like, why are they so good at comedy? There's so many like
At comedy, that's easy. I mean, that's just because they have. Well, it's easy for me to answer because I've looked into it, and I've been indoctrinated by the internet to think this that they just have the highest. They have really good IQs, especially in that part of the whatever brain where that has to do with speaking skills and language. They just excel at that.
Okay.
They have high IQs in general, but specifically in that region, they excel. Spoken word language. So that explains it right there.
Okay, and then
I mean, Bob Dylan. Like, look at where the hell did he get that?
Oh, he was Jew. Oh,
sorry.
No. You think?
Gotta take a pill in 5 minutes. Go ahead. Sorry.
What kind of pills do you take?
I have an alarm on my phone that says I gotta take my Keppra, my epilepsy medicine,
Oh, I didn't know you were
every
epileptic.
12 hours. Every 12 hours for the rest of my life.
Actually, a funny story. My grandfather was epileptic, and then he took medicine for so many years. And I guess what happens over time, at least in his case, or what can happen, is the brain will actually reroute, and then you don't have to. But I don't know how.
Yeah,
severe your
hopefully
shit
that'd
is.
be cool.
Yeah,
I haven't had a seizure in years.
that's awesome.
But
that means the medicine's working.
It's just sketchy to be like, okay, I'm going to experiment and not take it, but whatever. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck up a trade, man.
A trade. Yeah, fuck.
You don't want to fuck up a trade.
Anything that fucks up a trade, it has to be eliminated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, we were talking about Jews. Is that it? Did you want to know what we were? Did you want to end that
I guess like
rabbit hole before it goes before it takes over the whole?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just what I know. This is what I heard about it, or what I think is there's obviously some data about it, but
No, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I've always admired the work ethic. Like they tend to be very like focused,
and they're good at finance. They're good at other shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that the finance thing is just kind of like how Asian families always force their kids to be doctors and stuff like that. It's just like an obvious, this will benefit your life if you focus on it kind of thing, I assume.
Yeah, you don't have to attribute like nefarious reasons behind it. Like, of course, many people like to do that because I look at it from like everybody wants money, but then why is it that so many
Terrible at it.
Jews are so fucking good, but then they also get into they get into trouble. Like a lot. Like I was just reading about somebody that ran a hedge fund. He's Jewish, and he's known as the guy who had the biggest fine ever for inside trading. That's what he's known for.
Ken Griffin?
Not him. It was some Cohen guy.
Oh, it's always a con.
Yeah. And I was like, so what is he? And whatever. There's patterns that people notice, and there's truth to everything.
How
the
big
truth
was,
is in the middle.
how big was the fine?
It was like a 1.5 billion.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What was it for?
For insider trading.
But like
oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I'd have to read more. But I just found out about it.
Jeez,
but he's still a billionaire.
Of course.
So he's not like Madoff, who was also Jewish, or Sam Bankman-Fried, who's also Jewish. So this is why there's a rabbit hole. The second you bring up Jews, I can't shut up about it.
No, it's.
I'm half Jew. I'm not speaking from out of clan.
Are you actual Jew
No, just genetics.
Okay.
But I'm only talking from like a genetic standpoint.
So was it your
like
father's Jewish and your mom's not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it true your mother has to be Jewish for you to be
considered? That's the culture or the
cult?
religion. That's the tradition.
Okay.
But I'm just talking about genetic wise, and if it didn't mean anything to have genetically Jewish, I wouldn't talk about it. But I think it does mean something.
Yeah, because you have the genetics, and you
Yeah.
said, the gifted speech, and then
Yeah.
like all the things that come
It
with
didn't
that.
mean anything. Who cares? We're all the same. Whatever. Race doesn't mean anything. Fine. We wouldn't. Maybe there would be less wars if that was the case. if we were all the same. But anyways, the stock market is that's what we'll probably spend the rest of the episode talking about that.
Sure.
Now that we established our backgrounds pretty well, and you said Ohio is a shitty place.
Overall, it's getting better, but yeah, it's just kind of like not much going on. It's not that it's bad. It's actually geographically very beautiful and has a lot of cool things in that sense going on. But yeah, as far as like economy, it's not, unless you want to be in manufacturing or you want to live in Columbus, which is very tech. It's like Austin.
Okay.
So another Austin.
Yeah, I've heard of Columbus being that way, I guess, because my dad traveled there a bunch for work. He was a software salesman.
Oh, that's perfect.
That explains that.
It does.
Yeah, I started in programming, and then I worked up to not having to do that or anything.
I was gonna say you've retired technically.
Yeah, that's where if you start with programming at a young age, if you stick to it, you won't have to do anything after that.
If you're smart with your money, which you were.
You don't have to do that because if you're good at it, you'll get paid so much that it doesn't matter if you're that good. You don't have to be that good.
Shit.
You just get another job. Because I wasn't good with money for most of my life.
Oh wow.
I'm still not great at it. I'm still not good at it. So, but I would make money, spend it all, get another job, rinse and repeat. That's what happens if you're in a good trade. If you're in a hot commodity.
No, I wish I would have understood that as like an 18-year-old instead of being like, no, I don't want to do this.
Well, if you don't want to do it, fuck it. I only did it because I wanted to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same
Yeah,
with
but
anything.
how do I get my kids to be like that? Like, what do their parents do?
That's how anybody becomes good at anything. They only do it because they only become good at it because they like doing the thing. I think. I don't know.
Like, yeah. Okay, so like
Wayne Gretzky, I just saw him on another podcast, and he was saying he didn't practice out of like dedication because he loved it so much.
just love doing it.
Like he practiced 8 hours a day or whatever. And people say you gotta practice 8 hours a day. It's like, yeah, but if you don't want to,
It's terrible.
it just feels agonizing. No, he loved hockey.
Okay. Okay. So
Just a little thing I pulled from Theo's podcast. It's like, oh, that's a good point.
no, I mean that's okay. So like, there's a lot of other things I've done in my life, but like I've been trying to recapture. When I first started doing comedy, I was all in. I was like working a job plus doing that a bunch, like all the time for the first year and a half, and so like then the passion, so much of stuff happened, and the passion was lost. And I've spent it wasn't until this past year that I felt the same that I did when I first started comedy, and then the same thing, it was about trading anyways. When I first started trading, I didn't do it because I loved it. I did it because I wanted to secure my future and stuff. But now I actually like really enjoy it and look forward to it and like do it all the time. Not quite as much as comedy, but it's getting there. It's like building basically.
And you work full time still?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my job, I don't really do anything at my job. So,
Well, that explains how you're able to do it then.
exactly. So I literally spend the first like couple hours of my shift with charts pulled up and like I'm watching a video or two maybe.
At least it kind of looks like you're working.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's finance related.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And kind of funny.
Yeah, I just don't get paid anything, so it's like
Really?
$18.50.
So it's hourly?
Yeah, it's hourly.
What is the actual like position? If you,
I'm essentially an assistant manager, but I'm a head teller at a credit union.
Oh, the credit union, nice.
Yeah,
They give they give better rates.
they do give better rates.
Better
Yep.
everything generally.
Our credit card that I have with them is 8%.
Your credit card?
Credit card 7.99. Excuse me.
Because you work there?
No, just that's what
Is
we
that
give.
good? I've never heard of a credit card being that
Yeah.
low.
I mean, do you carry a balance on any of your cards or no?
No, I always pay it off before the end of the
What
month.
rewards card do you use?
Prime is my favorite. Right?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's a,
Okay.
It's a Visa, yeah.
Okay.
Through Chase.
That's one of my three cards. I have 3 cards. So
yeah, I just like the 5% rewards on Amazon.
so you do a lot of Amazon shopping?
Sure, I mean, we all kind of, right? Most people do, right? I mean, I guess I do. Yeah, groceries. Yeah, I do.
Wow. Do you leave the house?
Not if I don't have to.
That's crazy.
That's why I haven't got a haircut in so long.
Oh, really?
No, I'm very like isolated right now.
By choice, though.
Yeah, yeah, it is by choice. Like, I could do whatever I want.
Okay, wait a minute. So even though you're focusing on trading and stuff like that, like the social side of you, like so you just pop out whenever you feel like.
Off. Yeah.
Really?
I'm a recluse. Yeah.
Did something happen that clicked that, or you just?
I've always been that way. I've always been that way. I guess it's probably just from.
Okay.
It's just like misanthropy. I keep my social circle small, and I look at myself as like not anything that I just don't like normies and like the average person. Like I just don't like being around the average person. If I was surrounded by people I liked, I would socialize more.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's just I'm very isolated.
Okay. So wait a minute. So and then what spurred you lately to overcome the anxieties that you had with trading and stuff like that?
Oh, trading? Yeah. I mean, that is so fun. Like, that's nothing because that's something you can just do yourself, and that's where I shine.
Right, but what motivated you to start that process? Because the last time I talked to you about it, you were like not very interested.
Oh, about day trading? I guess I just thought it was, because I probably got burned in the past by trying to day trade like crypto or something, which is not even really a thing you could do. Like that's so like I don't even know. If it was maybe on a brokerage, maybe you could do it if you could actually take out contracts on it.
It's BITO or whatever, where you can trade basically it's a ETF but like for crypto.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not there's no pure Bitcoin ETFs yet.
Not that I'm aware of either.
No. And that's what we're all waiting for, and then hopefully, hopefully the market shoots up, and real interest will increase in volume and all that, and then maybe you could totally day trade using the methods that I'm learning about right now. But yeah, I just was like, it's day trading is super hard. And like 1% are successful, the rest lose money, and that's probably true. And
but you can find the 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever percent, and then learn from them. Though they exist. Yeah,
that's what I guess I'm finding out.
Yeah.
Now that I've gone through the low resolution forms of playing the market, which is just throwing money into a index ETF, index fund style. Like I got into Boglehead investing like a year ago.
The 3 funds?
Yeah, like 3 funds. You just allocate based on your age mostly. And you just buy the whole market. You're not trying to find the needle in the haystack. You just buy the haystack because most people don't beat the market. So I sucked down the Kool-Aid of that. It's like that's kind of like a different mindset from day trading.
Absolutely.
It's totally the opposite.
Yeah, long-term trading or long-term investing. Yes.
Yeah, like kind of, not too far off from kind of Warren Buffett-y, but obviously he's his own.
He loves the S&P 500. Loves it.
He does. But he tries to beat it, of course.
He does beat it though.
He does. Successfully, yeah.
For a long time.
Times it, and there's nothing wrong with just doing that, just being a boglehead if you're the average person.
Absolutely.
Average returns are way better than no returns, or negative returns in some cases.
Absolutely. Especially the older people that I know that I try to talk to this stuff to, they're like, I don't want to be bothered with it. I want to read my book. I want to watch my TV show. I'm like, all right, fine. You want to be whatever, that's your choice. But and for people like that, boglehead style shit is perfect.
Throw it in. Perfect. Yeah, it's passive. You don't have to think about it. It just comes straight from your paycheck, automatically deposit, and automatically reinvest.
Are you familiar with Ray Dalio?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you familiar with his all-weather fund?
Yeah, I've heard of it, and I don't know that much about how he got to where he's at.
Okay, well, he's a guy that I love and have read all of his books. He only has 3, whatever. So, but his all-weather fund. So Boglehead, they try to allocate. Was it S&P 500 basically? Small, independent markets outside the United States, and then some sort of bond.
Yep.
So he goes, okay, well, if you look at each asset class, so let's say gold, commodities, stocks, bonds, they all have a risk profile. So stocks have a much larger risk profile than say bonds. But commodities have their own risk profile. Gold has its own risk profile. And so he tries to weight with his all-weather funds risk so he will like if you look at the breakdown that he did, it was some Tony Robbins book, and he basically gave like his actual fund is like super like computers are involved and it's constantly buying and selling shit. But like for the average person, he basically was like, if you got weighted 30% in stocks and then like 60% in bonds, and then the rest was in commodities and gold basically. And I think there was one other, but it was it was like 70% total in bonds, but there was long-term bonds and then medium-term bonds or whatever. And he's saying like that's a more risk profile wise, like evenly weighted versus doing 50% stock, 50% bonds. And I don't know. So I just recommend looking into that if you haven't already, because
I will.
But you're young.
I've seen him talk about shit. But obviously he's known as somebody that completely destroyed the market. He completely decimated the S&P.
He literally destroyed it.
But yeah, he's like a algo trader or high frequency.
No, Ray. No, he. I mean, he basically has like two basic funds. The thing he calls Pure Alpha, which I think that's like more algo driven and like and such. But then the other one is the all weather. Like I said, it basically tries to do well in every type of environment, every type of season, as you put it. Versus the other one just tries to go for the highest returns possible at every given time.
Okay. Is the all-weather fund open to anybody, or is it closed?
Only if you have, I think, $100 million.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I think he caters more to institutions, but it's the reason why I bring it up is in case it interests you, just the mentality of like, oh, okay, like that way of looking at investing. Like, okay, I'm trying to weight my risk, not weight my returns. I mean, you're young, so just go all stocks basically is what you do. But
yeah, I guess once you're as you get older, you get more into low volatility stuff.
Yes.
Bonds, maybe gold, I don't know. Bitcoin, maybe? No, that's not low volatility.
No, it's the highest volatility. Holy shit.
Highest volatility, but it has the highest return so far, pretty much out of any asset class in my
50,000 million% return.
Yeah, like in my lifetime, what is a better return? But yeah, obviously it's not for old people. But it's not for old people. You know, if you have a small allocation, you could put the Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
Like 1 or 2%.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But yeah, not if you only have $10,000 maybe. Yeah, if you have like enough money where it's like not a problem to put 2%.
You're like $1 million or something like that.
Sure.
The rich people I know that their advisors will deal in crypto for that reason. Like a very small percentage of the portfolio will be in.
It's very low risk then. Yeah, you're only risking 2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the ETF would make it less risky, I guess, because it's slightly insured up to a certain point.
Okay,
you know,
that would make sense.
That's just possible. I hope so. I mean, that's kind of why it's taken so long to get approved, probably, because they don't want to insure it, maybe.
Yeah,
SIPC.
Yeah, the government doesn't control it yet, so they're trying to make. I think they're trying to make a form of crypto that they do control, and then is what I assume.
Right. Yep. That's what they're trying to do. It's not very popular. Yeah. But yeah, Bitcoin. I guess I've been doing that since it launched. Pretty much 2011 is when I got into Bitcoin.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I could have been a billionaire,
dude.
But everybody could say that pretty much, you know.
So like, okay, so 2011. What was your attitude towards it? Oh, this is cute.
It was awesome. Like I'm into tech. I'm into programming. So I was like, hell yeah! It's like it's peer to peer, open source.
Okay.
It's just software that runs on a server that anybody could just compile. And you're a node. You become a node. You're on the network. You're part of the thing. So just that is cool. Just the mining aspect to it is awesome. So I was on board all the way. I just used it. Obviously, the practical use for it was Silk Road, of course. So that was awesome.
Of course.
You know, got away with it. The guy who owned it didn't get away with it, but everyone else pretty much got away with it.
I think people don't they still use it for Silk Road? Or Silk Road shut down?
It's hard. I mean, Tor, there's still dark websites that are, unless they do something that exposes them.
Right.
It's really hard to find the origin server to see who runs that shit.
That's fantastic.
Usually they get caught by the email address that they use at some point. That's how a few people got caught, just by some email address.
Wow.
That got leaked, that got exposed. Yeah, it gotta be if you're a cyber criminal, that's tough.
How's it tough? Seems pretty easy if you ask me.
To cover all your tracks.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, because you can't
It's easy, yeah.
But
it's
you
also tough.
basically have to run it through like what 3 VPNs or some shit to try to scramble everything.
Sure, proxies. Yeah, I'd hope so. At least a couple. Yeah.
I mean,
technically, yeah, it's just hard to cover all your tracks. But yeah.
oh, you can't do 100%. There's always some sort of weakness. It's just hard to pinpoint.
Well, some people are getting away with it.
True.
It's just that if they really wanted to catch them, they could probably. There's always going to be something like hackers. You just got to hire the right hacker or the right person that's good at social engineering or something. Everything has a weak link. It's just how much power, how strong are you, how big are your weapons against it. Like there's no such thing as pure security. It's like fully secure.
Sure.
It's just there's things that are more secure than others.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I look at that. At everything. Yeah, whatever. I don't do cyber crime. But I do like Bitcoin because it allows you to do cyber crime. And I'm a libertarian, yeah, because I'm a libertarian. That's why.
Ah, of course, yes.
I believe in the right to do things that might be on the fringe.
Okay.
According to certain jurisdictions,
Sure.
illegal.
Sure.
But that's just because I'm a libertarian.
Okay. Is this by choice or
That's just being a good person. That's just believing in freedom. If it's not hurting anybody else. I don't care about if some specific jurisdiction doesn't like something. That depends on what it is. But anyway.
So, okay. So, like, what happened that caused you to start trading again, though? Like, you were telling me the guy that did it, but.
So, yeah, traded. So, yeah, we started with the boggleheads. And, because I was sick of not having wealth that grew. I wanted wealth that grows, not just, sits there. Erodes.
So you're a millionaire already. Great. Gotcha.
Well, I guess wealth would be just enough where you're not going to... Like wealth. There's no quantity that means wealth. 1 million, yeah, you want at least 1 million these days to be set. Like, not set. You need more than that.
Oh, wow, really?
1 million is not that much. For our age, it's okay. It's better than average, I guess, to have that in your
I would say it's definitely better
net
than
worth, of a 1 million. But no, going forward, I'm very I'm Jewish, so I want.
You're buying the A-ball and you're like, fuck, I'm feeling it.
Like, of course, there's a limit. You got to know when enough is.
You tell me, when's enough? How many billionaires do we need?
Yeah, exactly. I read this book called The Psychology of Money, and a lot of rich people blew it all because they risked it on something.
Oh, no shit.
Because they could never get enough. Like, they're worth 100 million, and then they wanted even more, so they put all that shit at stake, and then they lost it all, and they just acted they acted rich, and they spent. Wealth is about not spending money. It's about keeping money, about having money. Richness is when you actually spend it all and look rich. Like, a guy in a Lamborghini, that guy's not wealthy. He's rich. That's what the book says.
So third generation wealth versus first or second generation.
That's usually usually that's the difference. Usually first generation wealth people. It depends. Tech people could be assholes with their money.
Yeah, but are they going to be like the new old money? If that makes sense. Like, old money hates new money because the way new money tends to act. Yeah.
So I'm new money, and now I want to become old money.
That's good.
So that's where I started into the bogglehead thing, and now I'm just learning about the stock market. As you absorb more information about the stock market and just the economy and the market in general, and you watch and you spend a lot of time on WallStreetBets, and you want more. Because you could just sit there and let it accumulate, let it grow. That's boring. Like, yeah, if you wait 30 years, but I don't have enough to just wait. I don't even have enough. I'm still in the accumulation phase.
True.
And I don't have a job, so it's either I get a job, do something that makes money, or trade, work the market into my advantage. So WallStreetBets exposes you to the most extreme ways of changing.
All in, 0 DTE.
Yeah, like you'll change your net worth overnight. But it might not be the way you want.
I was gonna say the direction might be down.
But that said, even though it's the most fringe, the most lowbrow way to be exposed to that shit, it still has it still has a lot of good information.
Oh, absolutely.
Interrelated in between you just have to. So if you spend a lot of time on Reddit, regardless of the subreddit, you'll find some people that know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
So, and I finally of course I saw the memes about 0 DTE and how it's stupid.
It is dumb.
So
Unless you know what you're doing.
So I avoided it for as long as I could. And also I didn't really have a brokerage that would allow me to do it because I didn't sign up for level 5 or what, naked calls and all that. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I know not to do that. I know what it feels like to lose money. So I don't want to do that. So I did more conservative ways of making money from options.
Nice.
Which the most conservative, the one that I know of probably is covered calls. Mm-hmm. I bought into some ETFs that are covered call ETFs like JEPI, JEPQ, and they're they stay the same price pretty much forever. They very low volatility, but then they track an index, but they make extra income from covered calls. So you get like 10% a year just from throwing money into those things. They have a pretty high expense ratio.
Like what, 1 or 2% or something?
Yeah, 1%. So they're for retirees mostly. Not for people in the accumulation phase, but I was attracted to the dividend, so I became a dividend yield chaser.
Okay.
And I went even crazier with that. I bought into these new ones called Yield Max.
It's like the shittiest 20 or whatever.
Heard of that? Yeah. Well, I've
heard of the strategy, not necessarily the specific thing that you're...
Okay.
So I'll shut up. So what is it?
No, it's fine. There's one called Tesla, which tracks not an index, it's just... does covered calls on just Tesla, just the stock, just the individual stock.
No shit.
So it has all the volatility of Tesla with a lot of added dividends and premiums because of the volatility. So there's a strategy, just covered calls.
Huh.
And, synthetic positions. They don't actually buy shares. They just build synthetic positions with options.
Okay.
And so that's that one, and it pays a high dividend, but it's been eroding in NAV. So it's not been a return. It hasn't broken even yet.
Jesus.
So I put a few thousand in that, and I was like, I'm just going to go all in on this. It was super.
Guaranteed.
I was like, fuck yeah, I'm just going to get passive dividend income. But yeah, then it started eroding, and I slowly started pulling out of that, and I was like, I'd rather just do it myself. I'd rather just sell covered calls myself because I got time to look at a screen and it's fun, and you're more fun. In control. You set your expirations and your strike prices, and so then I learned about the wheel, where that is
theta.
Where you go back and forth between selling covered calls and cash secured puts, CSPs. Mm-hmm. If you get called, you lose the shares, you start over into CSPs. If you get assigned, then you have the stock, hopefully at a price that you like. Hopefully it's a stock you like. So that's that's a pretty safe way to get into options, and it's only selling options. It's not buying them. I love being the seller.
Well, I mean, the thing about selling those, it's the same problem. It's just the opposite. Okay, so like if you sell a put and then the stock goes up, you're fucked. Or if the stock goes down, you're fucked. Yeah. So it's like really. So okay, so is there
if it goes down a lot?
Is there any difference? I know the specific strategy. Yes, it matters, but like in general, is it okay? If you buy a call versus selling a puts, is there any difference in the amount of money you're going to make if the stock goes up?
If it goes up?
Yeah, because if you sell a put, you're expecting it to go up, correct?
You're just hoping it doesn't go down. It's beyond your...
Oh, okay, so even if it maintains, you're going to make money because of the decay.
Decay. You're either hoping it stays where it's at, goes up, or doesn't go beyond your break even.
Okay.
But even if it does, you'll get assigned the shares, and hopefully it'll come back up. If it's a stock you like, you won't be too pissed off. Because it's like still like you got to be willing to buy at that price before you make the order.
Sure.
It's a very psychological thing that that's the hard part.
Okay.
It's simple on paper, but following it.
Oh, yeah.
Being like, am I really okay buying Apple at this price?
Sure.
If so, then do the thing and you'll get the premium if things work out.
Sure.
But yeah, it just depends on the stock. Because if something's going up, the price of calls will go up.
Sure.
The price of puts will go down. So it depends on what side of the trade you're on and if you're bullish or bearish.
So like, I was going to ask you. So how long have you been trading like this?
I started selling options about 5 months ago, maybe.
Okay. And then have you would you say you're more comfortable with it now than you were 5 months ago? Or have you always kind of had an understanding?
I guess I'm getting more comfortable. That also means I'm selling bigger now. Like I'm taking more risk. Like I'm using more of my account. That's the thing about it. It's all psychological. That's the hard part.
So what percentage of your percentage?
I'm happy to talk about anything. Yeah.
Okay. So when you what's a big trade to you? Is it like 2% risking of your total account? Is it 1% risking?
Way more than that.
Wow.
It just depends. Well, for the wheel strategy, you kind of will probably risk a lot because you do have to buy 100 shares if something goes.
But I'm saying so you're expected your stop loss or whatever. So is that like a 2% loss? Like what's the biggest loss you're willing to take?
Okay,
your total account.
So I haven't even gotten to day trading yet. I guess I'm still. I left off on the wheel.
Right, but
the wheel. There's no stop. I don't use like any stop losses really.
You don't exit ever.
It's just you could exit whenever you want, but if you like the stock, you could do it indefinitely. That's why it's called the wheel, because you just keep going and going. So
you just keep rolling over, right?
So I guess the stop loss would just be kind of like the strike price that you're comfortable either selling or being assigned. I don't think. Yeah, that's how you can't really do like a stop loss if you like the.
Okay, so
the wheel at least. I don't know. Maybe you can.
So I'm not an expert in the wheel. So, but I've heard WallStreetBets talk a bunch during like 21 and 22 or whatever when GameStop was getting popular and all that stuff. Like late 2021. Anyway, so I thought the wheel was a strategy that's more for stocks that aren't having a lot of volatility. It was more about you're expecting it to stay put for the most part.
Yeah, they work. It works best for stocks that are slowly rising.
Okay.
Yeah, but you could grab a premium here and there, which is not quite the same thing as the wheel. The wheel is best for stocks that are very slowly going up that you want to own forever, pretty much, that are companies you like that don't have earnings the next day or something.
Yeah, earnings suck.
Yeah, like you got to be very conscious of all that. I don't know. There's a way to filter out the bad ones.
So let's say the stock goes crazy up or crazy down and you're doing the wheel. Do you exit at any point or you just stay put?
Yeah, so that happened with Square. I bought Block, SQ, and I like that stock, and it's down for the year, so I've been buying a bunch of shares. So then as soon as I hit a couple hundred shares, I'm like, I'm definitely going to start doing covered calls.
Sure. So
that was my first foray into options. And so I got burned, so first it kept going even more down, and it blew past my strike, so I got assigned even more shares, which I wasn't comfortable with. So now I have like over $10,000 worth of just one stock, which is a little high. That's a lot for me. So I was like, okay, I wasn't. So it eventually, but so I started selling the covered calls after being assigned, and now it's starting to bounce back.
Okay.
So this is not a good one for the wheel, probably, because it goes up and down by a lot, and it's a tech stock and it's volatile. It doesn't pay a dividend. So yeah, it's going up, and now I'm selling covered calls, which at a time when I thought was going to be a good premium, but then it blew past that. So now the premium's even higher. So I got to buy it back, roll it, if I want to keep it going, or just accept that I'm going to sell for not as good of a price as if I just never did anything. So that's how you get burned. You gotta really ask yourself, am I comfortable? Do I really want to do this?
Sure.
Or worst case scenario, you just take a small loss by rolling, by buying back for a small loss and rolling out or rolling up. That's one of the things you could do.
Okay. And then, so are you, at least you're up on the position total? Or are you down a little bit?
Pretty much even at this point.
Oh, that's great.
It's at a good price right now, and it's like it's not bad. Right? It's not stressful. It's not as stressful as what I am doing now.
Right.
The wheel is really not. You have a lot of time to think about it because they say you're supposed to do like 45 days expiration.
Oh, out from the
30.
Yeah,
around 30 to 45 is the best for theta.
Yes, less decay.
Yeah. That's the optimal. That's what they say. So you have time to really mull it over. Okay, do I want to pull out of this?
Sure.
In worst case, it's really not that dangerous compared to what I'm doing now, which is the day trading of the SPX, my new drug of choice. It's better than any drug you could put into your veins because it gives you money, and if you lose money, well, now you got to do it even more.
Got to make up those returns, those losses. I mean.
So we talked about this. I don't want to be the one doing all the talking, but I sell iron condors.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I do credit spreads.
Yes.
I do 2 credit spreads, one for upwards and one for downwards, and that creates an iron condor.
Mhm.
But I do it separately because that gives you more room, more adjustment, so you could adjust. You could just sell off just the top part, and then you could make money really quick.
Right.
If the stock moves up, okay, sell the one that's below it, and then because it already became profitable, but keep the one that's on the upside because that one still has to be, you could close it too if you think it's going to blow past the strike price. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing now. It's freaking awesome because you could make, but I am risking a lot of, I am risking a lot of my portfolio though. So I have to watch it with a fucking eagle eye.
Sure.
Like I don't really pull away from the price of SPX.
You just like once you're in, you're like staring at it. You mean?
Literally, like very few moments go by where I'm not looking at it.
Okay. No, that's pretty normal. I mean, when I'm in a trade, that's
when
what
you
I'm
got
doing, so-
positions open.
Yeah. And then, what do they call them? Swings. Are you familiar with swing trading?
And so that would be like more than one day.
Yeah. Where you have a trend line or whatever, and then it closes above the trends, and then you're confident it's going to go higher, so you buy it, but you're in it for either a few days to a few weeks, depending on your time frame.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, so day trading and swing trading are like the same thing. It's just one's on a smaller time frame. Like it's the same skill set, like literally identical. There's no difference.
But which one do you do more?
Lately, it's been day trading. It's been scalping, as they call it, or sniping.
There
as
you
the
go.
other.
That's why we talked. That's why we hooked up. So that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. So
that's where the juice is. That's where the dopamine is.
So so there's all sorts of ways you could do it. Everyone has their own like specific, but like some things are constant. Like I said, being able to read trend lines. That's like something I've seen every high level trader that do. They do trend lines. I've seen them do it different ways, but it's the same concepts. And as far as like when to enter, when to exit, and kind of thing like that, that's why I was showing you or trying to explain to you, and I'll show you at some point the volume profile. At least for me, this is what I was taught from the kid. And that way you can determine, like I said, like the X and like the Y axis between the two. And it basically, if they meet up, you have a lot of confidence in it. Like I've seen it happen so many times now in the past 2 years that I've been with them, with this particular Discord or whatever that they've like been feeding. Like I've been learning from them basically. It's a bunch of blah, blah, blah. So GameStop, I made like a bunch of money off that. I didn't want to lose it, so I was looking for someone on WallStreetBets, and I found this kid who was doing some things that sounded interesting. They had a Discord, and at the time I didn't know this, but Discord's really popular because it's like get rich quick and $500 a month, and I'll share it. You could just follow my trades. I post them live, and you could follow them. Well, there's a lot of like.
So is it one that charges money?
It is one that charges, but it's the weirdest thing. It charges. Okay, so they do right now. They do a free 3-day trial. Honestly, if you want me to just log into Discord and you can peruse it for a couple days, so you don't have to fuck around with that, I don't care. But otherwise, but yeah, so it's really weird. Like all the scammy Discords, they would charge literally hundreds of dollars a month, and then the average amount of time someone would spend with them was like 2 months. But they would get thousands. They would get these bots that just attracted, because especially when it was during GameStop days, people were like, yeah, this is great. Like literally, I think my grandfather was in Doge at some point. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
And so, I found these people who are actually know what and I have a long history of like testing things and making sure that's not bullshit. So like. So they've taught me a lot of stuff. Volume profile. Basically, there's looks like little mountains, and basically what it is at the peaks, if it goes beyond the valley, it tends to get sucked to the peak. Basically, it's like I'll show you. I'll give you actual examples, but if you look like a little mountain, a sideways mountain squiggle thing, and then there's certain periods of low volume. Those are periods. There's things that stocks, the price or whatever tends to get trapped in there until it fills out the profile. And then once it's kind of like filled in a gap or something like that, like basically a gap is just a low point of volatility or low point of volume. Or in some cases, like when the stock market opens, when it gaps up for the day or whatever, at some point it fills those gaps. Like it's crazy. It's filled 100% of the gaps going up, and then like I don't know, 70% of the gaps going down, if that makes sense, because the market's always going up because the nature of like inflation and stuff like that, and the way the market is, it's always it has a heavy bias to the upside as a whole. I guess there's a bunch of studies and stuff that like have proven that. But like at least in America, because we have we're kind of the top dog financially. We're was it reserve currency or whatever. So people have more. There's more likely, because if you like Japan, if you look at Japan, like in the 90s, it spiked up, was crazy. I digress. Anyway, so as far as sniping, basically it's so I look at the trend or whatever, and then I took a look at all the important price levels. I look at different time frames. Basically, ideally you want 3 time frames to match up, or at least be really damn close. So like all the guys that are really good that I've taught me stuff, they do like the 1, the 5, and the 15-minute time frame, and they do the same chart reading because for all 3, and they're looking for things that line up. And then if you can find something, a higher time frame is always going to have more weight than a lower time frame. Meaning, like if you stare at the monthly and it breaks out in the monthly, it might do some wiggle up and down shit on the weekly, the daily, and so on and so forth on the way down. But it's gonna go up because on the monthly is king. There's the yearly or whatever. So what I do is I'll take a look at the weekly. I bring up the chart or whatever. It's a 3-year, 1-week chart. So each candle that's on there is 1 week's worth of data, right? So I'll put up any important price levels. I map out any trends that are important. Okay, then I go down to the daily and I look for any more trends, more refined trends, and then I look for anything that lines up. Okay, and then I go down. I keep going down further until I find some pretty strong trends, and then on the minute, the 5. Usually I do the 5, the 15, and the hour, and I do that same process for that, and then God, I wish I could show you. It's more of a visual thing.
Yeah, it is.
But basically, you're just looking for things to line up. You're looking for, they call confluence. Basically, you're looking for, if you see something on the minute, the 5, and the 15-minute time frame line up, it's like the same pattern. It's more real than it is not, if that makes sense.
Okay. And it's essentially, so if you find a pattern, it tells you what? The price is going to do what? So
like, okay, let's say it's a trend line. So meaning like you try to look at, so let's say it's like a bull flag or something like that. Okay, so a traditional bull flag, it basically there's a sharp increase and then it'll slowly decrease. So that's bullish, and so you're mapping the trend line of the bull flag, and you're waiting for it to break above that trend. And when it breaks above that trend, like if it closes, the market has to close, or if you're doing it on a lower time frame, it has to close, like that candle has to close. So like if you're looking at the 5-minute and it's a trade that it's a bull flag on the 5-minute time frame, it has to close above on the 5-minute time frame, if that makes sense. And then if you have a time frame or 2 or 3 above agree with that, that means, okay, this is probably really, if it breaks above, it's probably really going to go, and the price is going to increase if it closes above that price line.
So you use this to day trade, mostly, and to swing trade? Swing trade,
yeah. Lately, I haven't done swings in a long time. Right now, I just entered into Levi's, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about.
So that's a single stock.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, they post. It's a retailer, so I think I'm assuming they're going up right now.
Yeah, I guess they just bought out some vegan. Like, are you familiar with like Lulu Milan or something?
Yeah.
So basically, it's like some vegan company or something like that. That's like them but better.
Lululemon, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I forget the name of the specific company, but basically they bought out. Levi's bought this company out.
Okay.
And so
yeah. So you're day trading it though.
Yeah, I am day trading.
Okay, so it's been going up. So you're opening on a daily basis though. It could obviously still correct. could do anything on a daily basis.
Well, I'm in a trade for anywhere from 30 seconds to
okay, that's right.
Like a few minutes.
So you're scalping.
Like half an hour or something like that. Sometimes a couple hours at the best. Just depends.
Okay, so you open a position for like what? How much shares do you get usually? Like how big are your like relative?
I hate losing money, and I like being right, and I'm trying to learn how to be right and not lose money. So all my positions are very tiny, tiny, relative to my portfolio.
So yeah, okay.
So like, okay, best example is like when I was scalping to the upside, when I thought like the S&P 500 or Tesla or whatever it is I was trading would go up, I would buy shares. Because it's very rigid. If this stock goes up, I make money for sure. If it goes down, I lose money for sure. Versus an option where if something doesn't go up fast enough or down fast enough, I could still lose money. I could still be negative on the trade.
So you're going with the trend, typically.
Yes, I'm looking for the trends, and I'm trying to go the direction it's telling me. I don't care. I'm not bear. I'm not bull.
So
I'm whatever the trend tells me.
So you only risk a certain percentage. So you pretty much know how much you're going to lose every time you take a trade. Yeah.
I'm trying to, right now, the last trade I made, which was like earlier this week, I made like $30 on the trade. Like in terms of raw money.
And you leap. So how many trades a day on average?
I try to do no more than one. I try to look for something that I'm very confident about.
Okay. So you're not, so how much time per day are you, so you're not there from day in, day out, like, okay, I'm doing this, if only one trade a day, you must be pretty busy doing other stuff and not just sitting at a screen all day, or else maybe you'd find more opportunities.
Correct. I try to spend, lately I've been trading just in the first hour.
Right.
The reason for that is the volume is the highest. It's the last hour is not a bad time to trade too, but the first hour is more than the last hour usually. I will not trade in the first 5 minutes. The reason being is that kind of depending on, sometimes I do, but generally speaking, the first 5 minutes, a lot of craziness will go on, fake outs or whatever. And I'm just trying to wait and see like what kind of,
for sure,
where it's going.
Yeah, I hear you. That's cool. Okay. So what I'm doing sounds like crack. And what you're doing sounds like maybe opium. maybe like a little bit of, like CBD oil mixed with a little bit of hashish, maybe a little bit of tobacco. You know, what I'm doing is ridiculous. Yeah, what I'm doing makes me feel like what I'm doing is dangerous, and that's why I probably lost. So I lost like 5 figures on Monday when the stock went up a lot, or the market, the S&P went up by like 1% or something. Close to that. The NASDAQ went up like 1.6%. So I lost a ton of money. That's my biggest loss so far.
Yeah, but relative to the rest of your portfolio, that sounds like that's not that big of a loss.
In that account, it was like 30 to 40% of my portfolio. So if it was big, and it was just so avoidable, like it just felt like it's just a dumb mistake. And all I had to do was close positions before this announcement came out for bonds.
Sure.
And then I would have been fine. But yeah, I thought it would ruin my week, but it only ruined like that day. And the next day I was doing fine. I was right back into it.
So are you going to be doing smaller positions?
Than that, yeah. But I'm still doing pretty big positions. Yeah, like I'm still using a lot of my buy power.
Okay.
Because that's how I determine. I just go by percentage of buy power.
Sure.
So if I have like 30K in buy power, 15K could net you. If you use up 15K, you could make a good amount of money.
Right.
Doing what I'm doing, but also if you could lose it if you don't close. If you are so hubristic, if you just go, oh, it'll come back. Like what I did that day is I didn't close out the losing positions. I just let them open, hoping it would correct and make them good again. And as it was going up and up, I kept just selling more and more at higher strike prices, just to say, well,
thinking it would basically double down,
and be like, well, if I just keep trading bigger and bigger, and as it goes up, that'll accommodate the losers. So it kind of almost did, but not quite.
It does work
But,
if you
ugh.
have unlimited money.
Yeah, so I used up so much buy power to do that, and that got me within inches of losing maybe the whole account. But then it did correct a little bit at the very end of the day, so I didn't lose as much as I could.
Right.
So anyway, so I learned, okay, maybe don't do that. Don't double down.
That is for people who are very seasoned and know what they're doing. The one guy that's been doing it like 20 years, 25 years as a trader, he does full port swings, as he calls it. He will scalp his full port, and it's 6 figures, 7 figures, 5 figures.
Okay.
What was it? Yeah, he'll do like 6 figures. Like his biggest win during 2021, and he had a screenshot to prove it, was Tesla, and he scalped $75,000 win.
Off a scalp trade. Yeah, so that takes a shitload of risk and leverage, not leverage, but
he
buy
does.
power.
He does 0 DTE, and
Oh,
he scalps. So
Buying it?
yeah,
So he's doing the opposite of me, yeah.
he's doing full port. He's doing 0 DTE,
Yeah.
and he's in it for between like I said,
And
30
it-
seconds to a few minutes.
So it was on a Friday then, if it was a 0 DTE Tesla, because they only...
No, they do. Well, okay, yeah, true. Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking like anything that expires that week, because like I'll do 0 DTE on a Tuesday, but like that's not. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, with only some can you do it every single day.
Yeah,
And that's why I do SPX every day is another game round. Yeah, I love it. But on Fridays, I look for opportunities in individual stocks, and or the end of the day before Friday maybe. Well, yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I guess I was using leverage too, because buy power uses leverage when you maximize your buy power.
Sure.
Because it wasn't cash. So I learned to keep it small, but I'm still going pretty hard, because now that I lost all that, I got to break even. So I'm like
gamblers.
That's what gamblers do. They go, okay,
Yeah.
I lost. Now I have to go back. But I am making it. I'm slowly getting it back. I should break even within a couple weeks. Conservatively, I could do it faster if I was crazy. Because even that day, even though I lost 5 figures, I also netted high 4 figures on the ones that did win. So it's like,
so you're still up overall.
it's crazy. No, I'm still down because it
that's
was
right,
a net
50%
loss. I'm
loss.
just saying the ones that are at
Yeah.
the top.
I got you.
Like, I'm just saying it's possible without opening as many trades to make 5K in one day. With,
absolutely.
With about that much with like 15K of buy power. 5K, and it's not that hard. So it just seems crazy. Of course, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not cured at all from this disease.
Do you really feel like you have a gambling problem? Like, sincerely?
Nah, because I did seriously consider quitting, and I was like, okay, this is what they told you would happen. The first one's free. Like, they always look at people's portfolios, they see how they got a little bit up, and then the next stage is boom, plummeted, and then they maybe try to get a little bit back. That's what, yeah, I feel like a little bit of a gambler, but not enough where like I feel at risk of losing my house or whatever. Like at least I have the house and other portfolios that I'm not going to touch. I'm not going to deposit anything. Like if I'm not going to deposit more. I just want to. I have enough buying power where I could still easily get it back up to at least where it was, and I'm getting there. But every single day except for Monday was green. It's just that one day I ignored the news. I was gambling that day for sure. I was gambling that day. And I knew, though, at the time that I was gambling.
So you've added one more data point to your system, as they call it, like your trading system.
For at least one. News, watch out for, respect the news,
Sure.
Close your positions, and the other thing is close your losers before they hit max loss.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I could have easily done.
I've had some traders be like, "Nah, man, you just take the full L." I'm like, "Fuck you."
That's what I would say. Yeah.
I'll save that 10%.
I'm going down with the ship. Yeah. Because sometimes it bounces back in what looks like a loser becomes a full max profit.
Sure.
I love just not even closing I just let them stay open until the very end of the day, because I don't got to pay the closing fees. It just settles
Sure.
to cash.
Sure. And so like if you see, this is why I really recommend you get into technical analysis.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can tell when to exit, because if it gets past a certain point, you will know, oh, this is fucked, and you'll know when to exit better.
Yeah.
So, and that's what, like, for me, I use the volume profile. Some people use the Bollinger Bands.
Right.
Some people use VWAP. Some people will use the 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. Like, there's so many popular indicators, and you don't seem to use any indicators.
Well, you're right. I don't really use indicators except for macroeconomical ones, like not TA,
right?
But I
like fundamental
put indicators as in the news,
sure,
and the whole macro environment day to day, and
right.
I watch a YouTuber that keeps me aware. But I will start using that the volume profile. I started learning about it, and I'm definitely gonna at least add it to my tool belt and fully understand. I'm going to fully learn about it. It's still a little bit over my head, but yeah, because I just started looking into it.
I will teach you
yeah,
everything.
The way you explained it so far was easier than the YouTubers I saw. And then another thing is that I thought about is like, I don't want too many I don't want to be bogged down and like overwhelmed by too many charts and too many indicators.
No, that's valid.
Because then if I feel like I have too much of an edge, that I might also take more risk. Like if I keep it simple, then I feel like maybe it's better to be a little bit blind, because then you won't be like, oh no, I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to fucking, at this price, I'm going to sell 10 cut. I don't know, just a thought I had. It's like, it's maybe the simplicity is the edge. But I'm saying this is somebody that lost 20K in one day, so maybe I don't know the fuck I'm talking about. But
I mean, I had a paper loss of like 80 grand, so there's that.
Well, we want to talk about paper. We'll end on this top. Yeah, paper. We're already like over an hour, so we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. But
what's your biggest paper
loss? Not
because
I'm bored. So the biggest paper loss. Well, first I got to talk about paper gain. But I mean, if you have a paper loss, that means you probably had a paper gain, right? I mean, how do you, or at least a paper something? You got to have money on paper for it to be a paper loss.
Absolutely.
I don't really like, fuck paper gains. But yeah, I lost paper-wise a lot.
Like 6 figures.
More.
7 figures.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say it.
Wow. Well, I said it, so you didn't say it, so I did.
Thank you for saying it.
Okay. So mine's technically 6 figures paper loss, almost. So, but you beat me out. You're the better trader.
I gotta post the screenshot of that to WallStreetBets.
That would be an amazing loss porn.
Yeah, but it happens over time, and it happened like over a year ago.
I gotcha.
And it's not like it happened in one day.
True.
And also, it had a paper gain beforehand, so they would have been like, "Well, okay, you should have sold, you idiot." I don't know, like. That's what they like. Anytime it's worthy of a screenshot, that's when you're supposed to sell. And I was selling, so I don't really feel that bad about it, because I did make profit. I just could have made
way more. Yeah,
way more, about 5-6 times more, something like that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So I still did end up pretty whatever, and I still hold a lot of it. Like, I'm a bag holder.
Sure.
I'm devout to Doge. So if it
Doge?
Yeah, it's a Doge. That's the one. So if it goes back up, I'll definitely sell most of it. At this point, I'm free to do that. Yeah, I have nothing stopping me now. So anyway, this has been a fun episode, very informative, I hope, for y'all. Hopefully you will also become like us someday. We're killing it. We're finance bros. And this has been Tim Weichselbaum with a Mike Dragon. I'm saying Mike this time. To wrap up episode 91 of the Tim Weichselbaum Show. Have a good one, y'all. Peace and love.